Hey guys, oh, I didn't change this banner. Hold on. Um, it's been a little crazy morning. But welcome to Saturday Sprints. I really had fun doing these writing sprints on during Write-A-Thon. So I thought it would be fun to do some more. So welcome. It's glad to have you. Glad. Hello. It's good to have you. My brain is a little fried. I have some coffee over here. I haven't really had much coffee this morning. I had like 1 cup at like 5 o'clock this morning. And then I went to the gym and did lower body day. So I'm a little bit tired, but we are here and we are sitting down and ready to go. I if you're new here, I am Maggie. Hello. Welcome to my channel. I do different content like writing and just basically whatever I am in the mood to do at that point. Currently, it's writing. I'm working on a project called Project Shadow, which is a historical espionage set in the 1940s in the Marvel Universe. And I have had this idea for 2 years. It'll be in August, so next month it'll be 2 years. And I have been trying to plot it and outline it so that I can start writing it. I got the plot done. I got the outline done. Today I'm working on storyboarding, which is where I'm going through and creating kind of like a guideline of every scene that happens in the novel. It was the same thing I was working on during Write-A-Thon. I did not finish my storyboard. I actually had to add in a bunch of scenes, so that's what we're working on today. But we are just trying to get in the habit of being consistent with our writing. But this story, normally I would just like discover write and like write it off the top of my head, but I really want to do a good job with this one, so that's why it's taken me longer. But I'd like to hurry up and get the storyboarding done so that I can actually start writing. So today's goal is just to be working on my storyboarding so I can make some progress toward it and actually start writing on it again. Go ahead and let me know in the chat what it is that you are working on for today. It can be a story, it can be like just work in general, whatever it is that you have to work on for today. Just go ahead and put it in the chat and let me know what your goals are for today's session. The goal today is just to be productive and get some work done. Okay, so with that, I am going to go ahead and get our first sprint started. We're going to work for 25 minutes and then we will check back in once the timer goes off. Any comments or questions or anything, just drop them in the chat and I will check back in with you guys at the break. Good luck on whatever it is that you are working on. And yeah, happy writing or whatever it is that you're working on. right, guys, how did that go for everyone? I did not hear the timer go off for some reason. I think my headset turned off. I had to turn it back on, but hopefully you guys heard the timer go off. But on that one, I got 345 words down, and oh, I feel like I have to sneeze. Nope. Okay. Mostly the 345 words that I got were like brainstorming words because I had to, I've been having to go back and add in more scenes. So I am basically just have like a notepad open and I'm like brain dumping as many ideas as I can into it and then like making notes for myself on stuff that I'll have to look up. So the words are kind of like, they're not story words. They're like basically talking myself through what I want to do and trying to add in more scenes. And so I don't know if you guys use Scrivener or anything, but if you use Scrivener, I have like the index cards up and I'm like trying to use those as like to map out my scenes. But let me know in the chat how that sprint went for you guys, what you're working on, what all you got done. And yeah, we have a couple minutes left on our break and we'll dive into the next one. This is like a very long note. I'm gonna have to figure out how to go back and make this more condensed and easier to read. If you guys are writers or anything, I would love to know how you guys brainstorm and like plot and stuff because I am like all over the place with how I'm doing stuff. And I think part of it is that like I don't really plot. Like normally everything I write is like off the top of my head. So this is a whole new experience for me. So I feel like I'm just kind of like trying to brain dump and talk to myself and like navigate through it. But I don't know. Part of me wants to just get started writing. And then part of me is like, if I start writing, am I going to like mess it up like I have before when I've done pantsing or discovery writing, where I get like halfway through the story and I'm like, oh my gosh, this has gone completely sideways and I don't know what I'm writing anymore. And I really don't want to do that. But at the same time, I really want to write because I'm super excited about this story. So I don't know. I've also heard some people say that they like write and then they like stop and outline the next chapter and then they write and then they outline the next chapter. So I could try that, but I'm already in the process of like outlining everything. So I feel like I might as well just finish it and then I'll have the whole entire map. But also, like, I run into the thing where my brain sometimes feels like it's already done because I already know how it's going to go and how it's going to end. So I'm kind of fighting with myself on that because part of me is like, oh, well, it's already done. I don't need to do anything. But it's like, no, you haven't actually written anything yet. You're still in the plotting phase. And I think that's part of my issue is that like I'm used to discovery writing. So I'm used to finding the story as I go. And this is kind of like discovery plotting where I'm just like figuring out the story as I plot it, but I haven't actually written it yet. So I don't know if that made any sense. So if you struggle with that, or if you're a plotter, pantser, discovery writer, I prefer the term discovery writer. It just sounds more sophisticated. Pantser just makes me think that you got pantsed. Like that was a whole thing back in like I think it was elementary school where you would pants somebody. But that's what that makes me think of. So I prefer discovery writer. All right, we got a couple seconds left on our timer and we will jump into our next sprint. So I'm still working on my storyboarding, trying to get some of these scenes knocked out. I haven't actually mapped the scenes out yet. I'm just trying to figure out like what order the scenes are going to go in. So I will get back to that. Let me know what your goal is for this next sprint. If you are on the replay crew, just drop a comment down below and let me know what you're working on and what your goals are. Because we're all supportive here and we want everyone to do the best that they can do and work and make progress, be the best that they can be. And with that, 2, 1. Bloop. Okay, I didn't hear anything. Why am I not hearing anything? I don't understand. But it went. So happy sprinting. Um, I will check back in with you guys after the next one. Alright guys, welcome back from that sprint. It seemed to have worked that time with the timer going off. Sorry if you heard it in the middle of your sprint last time. I was trying to figure out why it wasn't going off, but I actually heard it that time, so I think it worked correctly. How did that sprint go for you guys? I hope it went well. I got 182 words, so much less than last time, but I think I am getting close to the end of figuring out like how many scenes I need to add in. I was mostly trying to figure out like timeline type stuff on this last sprint because I got to make it realistic with 1940s Soviet Union, which is like where the setting and time period takes place. So I was trying to do a little bit of research into that. So I kind of got slightly distracted on that last sprint, but ended up going back and like just doing brackets and like making notes like go research this, go research that. So I'm definitely going to have a lot of stuff to research since it is a historical fiction. But like I said in the beginning, it's set in the Marvel universe. So there's going to be a little bit of leeway with stuff, but I want to make it as historically accurate as possible as well. So there is that aspect to it. Um, and this is a story that like I am just writing for me. I obviously since it's set in the Marvel universe, there like I can't publish it or anything. I guess it's technically considered fan fiction. Or it is considered fan fiction because it's set in the Marvel universe, but everything that I'm writing about, it's not characters that are in the Marvel movies. It's like I'm creating a whole new cast of characters. It's a whole new like set like timeline type thing and everything. So all of that is coming from my brain. It's just the location is set within the Marvel universe, um, which I guess makes it fan fiction. But I am excited to write it, and because it is like a historical fiction type thing, I definitely want to do a good job on it. So I'm leaving lots of notes for myself on like stuff that I need to look up. And what I love about Scrivener is you can put external links within the document. So like when I was looking up some stuff, I found a website that talked about like what schools were like in 1940s Soviet Union. And that's one of the things that I had to look up. So I copied that link and I can put it as a bookmark in Scrivener so that when I need to go back and reference it, it's right there for me to reference. Um, but yeah, if you are a writer um, and you're currently working on something, how do you do research? Or like, do you not have to do any research for whatever it is that you're working on because it's like off the top of your head? But I'm always curious how people organize and manage their like notes, their research, their ideas, like all of that. Because, like I said before, I've been a pantser where I've never, the stuff that I'd written, I just wrote it off the top of my head. I never really researched anything. I just was like, this is what I think happened in that time period. We're just going to go with it. Like, I think one of the stories I wrote was like a Scottish romance, and I just pants it, Discovery wrote it off the top of my head and did zero research. But then I also went off the rails and never finished it. So I've never actually gotten to like where I go and finish something, like where I've plotted it out, finished it, and like also do research and like create a second draft and like all of that stuff. So this is kind of this Project Shadow is kind of my baby and like my experiment with all of that stuff, like experimenting, learning how to be an author, writer, whatever on this story. So like in the future, if there is a story that I have that I would like to get published or something, because I'm not saying I would never want to get published, but currently I have no interest in that. I'm just writing because I love to write and I love stories. Um, but this is kind of like helping me go through that process and learning about it and all of that. So I'm enjoying playing around with it and having fun with it. But it is definitely slow going. So I'm hoping I can figure out a method to make this faster in the future. But again, this is trial one, and I am probably and I'm probably overthinking a lot of it. So we'll see how that goes. But am I late? No, you're fine. I've only been here for an hour. I started at 9. Last time I did 9:30. So you're fine. You're not late. You can join whenever. But the timer just went off, so we are gonna jump into the next sprint. I'm assuming I think you were editing your novel during Write-A-Thon, if I remember correctly. Here it is 11. Okay, so I started at 9 Central, so I guess for you that'd be 10. Like I've only been here for like an hour, but I'm just still working on Project Shadow and storyboarding. Um, and yeah, that's just pretty much it. We've just been chilling. So you're not late or anything. I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer for the next sprint, and we will jump into it. Uh, and I will catch you at the next break. Good luck and happy writing, editing, whatever it is you're working on. right, guys, welcome back from that sprint. I realized I never switched over to the sprint timer, but that's all right. I hope that sprint went well for you. I got 193 words. I am currently organizing scenes over here and making notes to myself, so not a lot of progress on actually like storyboarding, but more trying to like get everything in order so that when I get back to storyboarding, I can just like work my way through the scenes. But let me know in the chat what it is that you worked on that last break and how your progress was. Let me update that. Here we go. I think it's coming along pretty good over here. I was trying to, I had a, basically I have a brain dump document that I've been trying to dump all my ideas in. And this last sprint I was going through and trying to like organize it a little bit more and have it where it's not just one giant document full of words. And trying to, this is my little project notebook for my story. So I was trying to make notes in here to make it easier to look up. Are you storyboarding with a poster board? No, I use Scrivener. So Scrivener has a option that you can do index cards. It's like a corkboard mode is what it's called, and you can use virtual index cards to map out your story, and then those index cards actually can link to like an internal Word document in Scrivener. So once you have the, I wish it would let me like, I'll try and take a picture of it on this next one and see if it'll let me share it. But you can, once you have the index cards like filled out, you can click on them and open them up as like documents, and you can write in the document. So some people will use it as like they do the index cards and map everything out, and then the actual document version of that index card, they like just write their story. But what I'm doing is I'm like doing a bulleted list in that document of like everything that I need to hit on the scene. I'm going to see if I can share a picture or something of it. I wish I could. Let me see. Let me just pull something up on Google, see if someone has a picture I can share. That'll work. Yeah, okay. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, this will work. All right, let me see. Okay, I think that you guys can, nope, hold on. There we go. Let's do, okay, so this is just like an example that I found off of Google, but this is what the corkboard mode looks like in Scrivener. So you have the index cards, and then they write out like little notes to themselves about whatever is on the index cards, but you can see over on the left side, it has like the document that corresponds with that index card. So it says like they arrive at the monastery, but that is a document, but it's like shows up in as a corkboard mode of like a little index card in like the main folder. But if they were to click on that, it becomes a document, and then they can like write notes and stuff to themselves in it as like a Word document. I hope that makes sense. But that's like essentially what I'm doing. um, there we go. So yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing with that one. It wouldn't work for me since I'm not a plotter. Yeah, it's essentially a virtual storyboard. So instead of having a giant poster that has just a bunch of index cards on it, it's virtually. And then I can do more detail in the documents as I open them. Maybe I'll do a video on how I have it all set up and whatnot. That might be a good idea. Write that down. But yeah, if you haven't used Scrivener before, I highly recommend it. It's like a lot of people recommend it for like writing and stuff because you can like it holds a bunch of stuff. It has like documents. You have like an outline version. It has a corkboard version. You can include internal, external documents. You can have pictures. Like it's a whole thing. It's like one of the best highly recommended software for writing. But I got it, and it's not a subscription. It's a one-time fee, like that you pay, and then you have access to the software as much as you need it. But yeah, the timer just went off. So let's jump back into our next sprint. And I will check back in with you at the break. Good luck, everybody. Welcome back. How did that sprint go for you? For me, it was all right. I got 71 words, but mostly it was spent trying to like organize my notes and stuff because they're kind of all over the place. And a lot of it is just like talking to myself, like, what if this happens? Question mark. Oh, well, maybe this should happen. This should happen, like that type of stuff. So I was trying to organize them to make them a little bit more cohesive, and I got about halfway through. Um, one of them is just like the climax, and I'm not even at that point. I'm only seen mapping the first two, like the first act. If you're doing 3 act story structure, it's just the first act, but I break it down into like a total of 10 acts. So I'm only on the first two that I'm scene mapping, but I had like a whole brain dump of when I was outlining that I did for the climax. And I need to go back and actually like make that into a bullet point type list. But most of the other notes are regarding what I'm currently working on. So that's what I was trying to do, was go through those and kind of organize them a bit better, since they're all just kind of like brain dumped onto one page. Um, so so I did that and was writing stuff in here, so there wasn't a lot of word count for that one, but progress is progress. You had to kill more darlings. You're still editing, right? I think that's what you were working on during Write-A-Thon, was editing. Um, how far along are you in your story? Correct. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I am a long way away from editing. You're now more behind. Why are you more behind? Oh, because you had to cut out more stuff in your story that you have to go back and add in. I'm kind of behind on mine. I was hoping to have the whole storyboard thing done. Um, well, originally the plan was to have that done at the end of June so I could start writing, but that's not happening. So then I was like, well, maybe I can have it done by the end of July, but I haven't really touched my project since the end of June when I ended Write-A-Thon. I just kind of have been super busy, so this is me getting back into it. You deleted about a half a chapter. Oh, okay, so you have to go back and like rewrite all of that and like rework it. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm hoping now. I would like to get the storyboard done. I pushed it. These are like self-imposed deadlines too. I don't have like an actual timeline to get stuff done, but I'd like to get it done by the end of August so I can actually start writing. And then my thought process was to do another write-a-thon for September, um, since it's 30 days, and then that would actually be like a drafting write-a-thon for me, at least. That would, I think, is what I'm gonna do, but that also requires me being more consistent and actually finishing the storyboard by the end of August. Part of the fun is the struggle. Yeah, you guess. Yeah, I guess that's part of the fun. Yeah, but sometimes it can be hard. Like when I think part of the reason I took a break too for this past 2 weeks is because I was just a little burnt out, but also um like I realized I had to add in a bunch of new scenes, and I was not prepared for that. So that kind of gave me uh a bit of discouragement, if that's the right word. Like it discouraged me a little bit. There we go. Hello brain work. Um having to like go back and rework it. But I guess on the flip side, at least I hadn't written everything and haven't to like turn around and like scrap it and like rewrite new stuff and whatnot. So I'm glad I'm figuring it out now instead of when I was writing it, because if I had tried to pants it like I used to, I probably would be like, okay, I'm not working on this anymore at all. If I realized I had to go back and add in a bunch of stuff, I would just be like overwhelmed and whatnot. So at least this is uh, the beginning of the process, but it is very slow, and I'm not a plotter, so or at least I guess I'm a plotter now because that's what I'm doing, but it doesn't feel like I'm doing a very good job at it. If I'm being perfectly honest, it doesn't feel like I'm doing a very good job. It feels like I'm kind of all over the place. But I think you said you were a pantser, if I'm remembering correctly. It's been a hot minute since I had one of these sprinting sessions. Maybe you are not a plotter. Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering if that because I'm also like I am struggling because part of me is like, oh well it or like my brain is like it's already done because I already know how the whole entire story happens, but it's like it's not actually done. Yeah, you're a pantser, yeah. Um so like I don't know if you feel like this if like you plan it out and you're like, oh it's done because I've already planned it out, but it's like it's not actually done because I haven't actually written anything. It's just all in like a drafting type mode. But we'll see. I want to get through it because I'm really excited about this story and keep coming back to it. But I don't know if I'm a plotter. I'm trying to figure out if I'm like maybe I'm like a half plotter, half pantser type thing. Maybe that's what I need to do because this has been like a whole process and it's a little bit overwhelming to like do. I'm like, I'm just now storyboarding. I haven't even actually written anything. Open a new doc and jump in with only what you remember and see how you do. I could try that. I could try that. That's not a bad idea. Because I see like I know some people are like who are half plotter, pantser. I guess it's like a plantser is what they call it, where they like write as much as they can and then they like stop and outline the next couple of chapters and then they like write again. So I could try doing that. But like I'm already like halfway in this process. So I'm like, I feel like if I stop it and scrap it, then it's like I did all of this work for nothing. So, but yeah, how is editing going for you? Like, is that something that you're comfortable with, or are you just like this is a lot too? Since I know you're normally a pantser, is it? Are you enjoying it? Don't scrap it. Just start a new document. Yeah. Are you enjoying the editing process or is it like, okay, this is a lot as well? I'm just curious how everybody else is when they start that aspect of it. If you're a pantser, that's part of it. You read it all. Yeah. 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 Regardless, it'll eventually be written. Then you wait 90 days, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think I just have made it so big in my brain that I'm worried that if I just start writing on it, I'm going to mess it up and then I'm going to get discouraged and not come back to it. Because that's what I've done with like other stories. Like if I get like halfway through it and then it'll like go off the rails and I'm like, okay, I don't want to go back and fix all of this. Like I know it's going to be a nightmare editing all of this and I've already written like 60,000 words or whatever on it. And then I just don't go back and do anything with it. So it's like, yeah, I just got to be confident with it, I guess. I've already got it all planned out. So it has a cohesive structure. It's just, I think I'm getting a little nitpicky with it and trying to like I think I'm overthinking it. I think that's my issue. I think I just Right. But yeah, the timer just went off, so we're gonna hop back into our next sprint, and I will answer this question on the next one because that's gonna be a good question. It'll probably be like a good conversation. But let's go ahead and hop back into the next sprint, and good luck on your project. right. Welcome back from that sprint. How did it go for y'all? I got 137 words. Um, and I'm still organizing everything, so that's why not a lot of words, but a little bit better than last time. I feel like I'm making progress on getting this all organized. Uh, these notes are very chaotic, but I'm trying to like bullet point them and have it where it's like an easy reference. And I did get everything, I think, for the most part, put on index cards in the corkboard in Scrivener. So I think that I'll be able to go back and start actually scene mapping the scenes from there. So I think I've pretty much got the first two acts figured out. It's mostly just like little notes that I have here of like here and there of like highlights that I need to make sure I hit. But yeah, from the last break, we had this question that I wasn't able to answer in time. Are you a visual person slash thinker? Yes. I basically, when I'm writing, I kind of see it in my head like a movie. So I can see it like playing out like the basically like it's a movie, like the setting. I can see it in like vivid detail and then like kind of like the how it feels, like all of that type of thing. So I'm very like when I daydream and or like think of stories, it's very like sensory overload where it's like I can see it, I can like if there's a breeze, I can feel it. If there's um like a certain feeling that you get from like a creepy haunted house or something like that, like it's all of that sensory input is what I see in my brain, and I try to transfer that into how I write, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I'm more visual than I am analytical, but I do have like I can be analytical sometimes, but as far as writing goes, it's more a visual sensory type thing. So I feel like I can almost put too much detail into stuff. So I kind of have to like back out of it a little bit. I think that is also partly why plotting is a little bit harder for me. It's because I am more visual and less analytical. Like I can be like when it comes to work and stuff like that, I can be analytical and whatnot. But as far as story structure and everything, it's definitely harder. Um, I hope that answered that question. I hope that made some sense. I don't know if that actually made as much sense. It made sense in my brain when I was saying it. But I feel like I don't know. I don't. I think if you're a writer to a certain extent, you are kind of a visual person. But I don't know. I have seen like TikToks or whatever where people say that they don't see things in their head. That it's when they think they don't see things or like I guess they just like if you say an apple, like in my brain I picture a certain kind of apple. I would picture like a green Granny Smith apple and I could like see it sitting on a table or something. But I think some people if you say the word apple, they only like think of the word apple. I don't know if that makes any sense. That's what I've heard and I'm not one of those people. Like that's a whole entire foreign concept to me. Your storyboard is Pinterest. Yeah. I will go through sometimes on Pinterest and see pictures and stuff to get ideas, but I am like storyboarding as far as like little index cards that say what is supposed to happen in the scenes. But yeah, I could see that being like a storyboard. It's like a inspo page. I do have that a little bit, but uh, when the from what I looked up, storyboarding, like scene mapping and stuff like that, is kind of what I'm doing. And so when I do like I'm writing down all of the sensory details and everything, so that when I actually go and write it, it's there. And then you can do that where you have like pictures included and stuff to like help you reference it. Um, writing which Scrivener lets you do that. So I might add that in where I add in some pictures to the scenes to kind of like give me a visual of it. Okay. All right. That sounds interesting. Pokemon Wattpad fanfic. I became a dreepy and then dishwasher. Okay. Interesting. Alrighty. So the timer went off, and I will probably do like one, maybe two more sprints and call it for a day, since I've been going for the past couple hours. But we will jump in to the next sprint. I think they just wanted us to check out their fanfic that's like a Pokemon fanfic or something. It sounds interesting. Yeah. Okay. We are going to jump into the next sprint, and I will check back in with you guys on the next break. Happy writing and good luck. welcome back from that sprint. How did it go for you? I got 200 words that time. And kind of towards the end was getting a little distracted, trying to like figure out some scene ideas, or like they're not new scene ideas. They'll probably be part of the scenes, but just like figuring out how to convey personality of some of the characters. So I'm making some notes on that. That's what I was working on towards the end. Looks like we got some comments. Oh, okay. This is from the Stacy person. They're asking about their Pokemon fanfic. I have not read your Pokemon fanfic, but it sounds interesting. I've seen Pokemon before, but I have not read your fanfic or anything. We're doing writing sprints right now, so I am working on my story. And I think Green Ruled is here. They're working on their story. But it sounds interesting, and I hope your fic is doing well. But yeah. I have been working on mine, and I think I'm probably gonna end up calling it for today. I'm starting to get distracted and having a little bit of trouble focusing. But that's pretty good. We did 5 sprints total for today. I think part of the reason I'm getting distracted is it is lunchtime over here, so I think I'm gonna end up getting some lunch. I had coffee. I had some earlier. I drink it all. It's gone, but I had some earlier. I had a second cup. That's cup number 2. And I did get, if you are a chronic coffee drinker like me, this is not necessary, but I actually like it. I don't know if it'll let me lift it high enough for you to see. It's a candle warmer, but you can also use it as a coffee warmer. So that's a little bougie trick there that I have been doing while I'm working, is having my coffee on the coffee warmer so that it doesn't get cold and I can drink it all. And I did that today and I finished it all. But I definitely need lunch. I'm starting to get hungry over here. And I'm sure you guys do not want to see me eat and stuff my face on camera. That would not be pretty. I usually just toss my cold out and make another one. Yeah, you could do that too. But if you want to be bougie, try a candle warmer. Keep your coffee warm while you're working. But yeah, let me go ahead and update my totals. Let's see how many I've got today, since I've been keeping track on this little whiteboard I have in front of me after each session. Wow. Okay. So total today, I got 1,128 words, which I think is pretty good. Granted, I'm not like having a specific word count goal like I was during Write-A-Thon. That word count goal during Write-A-Thon was 20,000. But I don't have a specific word count goal right now. My goal is just to finish the storyboard. I was looking at the calendar earlier. Next, yours is a fanfic too. Yes. So it is a fan fiction. Technically, it's classified as a fan fiction. It is in the Marvel universe, so it is based on Marvel. There's Marvel stuff. But if I were to take the Marvel stuff out of it, it could be a standalone story completely. It's a whole new cast of characters, a whole new setting, time period, all of that. So it's not using the main like Marvel characters. There's not really any superheroes that you see in the main Marvel yet. My plan is to maybe integrate those later. Currently, this is basically a hero origin fic is pretty much what it is going to be. I have not seen The Boys on Amazon. I heard it's good. I haven't watched it yet. Are they Prime or are they Marvel characters? I'm gonna add that to my list to watch. I know Jensen Ackles is in it, and I love him. I've like a huge Supernatural fan. So it's on my list to watch, but I haven't actually seen it yet. But yes, I love Supernatural. That is one of my top favorite shows. But yes, it is a Marvel fanfic, but it's like a hero origin fic. So it's like there's some hints at stuff that's like in the Marvel universe, but it's a whole new cast of characters, and like everything is off the top of my head, like in my brain as far as like the characters and all of that. There's not a lot of Marvel characters actually in it. Also, you should read The Watchmen. Don't watch the movie version. Okay, I've heard that one is good. Is that's not a game, is it? I feel like I've heard that that's like a video game, or maybe I'm thinking of something else. The I've heard of the Watchmen before, but what is there? There's like a video game that's like maybe I'm going crazy. Hold on. Why do I think that's a video game? Oh, it is a video game. Okay, that's where I'd heard of that. Okay, I'm going a little crazy. Okay. So there is a video game version of it, but I guess there's also a movie. Okay. That's where I'd seen that from. That's why that sounded so familiar. All right, I put that down too to check out. But yeah. Let's see. So I feel like that's pretty good for today. I was thinking I might do one tomorrow. I'm not sure. It depends on what I can get done today. But I'm thinking, I was looking at the calendar, my next one, the next sprint that I'll want to do, like live stream would be probably the 25th, because next Saturday I am doing like a workout class with one of my friends, and that starts at 9, so I don't think I'll be able to do it next Saturday. But the 25th is wide open, and I could do another like long sprint that day for sure. Or I can do next Sunday sooner. I could do both actually. I might just schedule them for both. I need to start like I want to get this storyboard done. The goal is like the end of August. That's like my deadline that I'm giving myself, because I'd like to do another Write-A-Thon in September and be drafting at that point. So that means I'm going to be doing more streams to kind of like hold me accountable, because I enjoy streaming with you guys, and it helps me stay on track. So yeah, I think that will be it for today. I'm going to go get lunch, and maybe not another coffee, but probably an energy drink. I don't know if you drink those, but I love those. The Alani ones are my favorite. So with that, thank you guys for writing alongside me. I am going to schedule the one. I think I'm going to schedule one for next Sunday for sure. Go ahead and put that on the calendar. And I'll do, I was doing 9:30 during Write-A-Thon. I did 9 today, but that was kind of pushing it a little bit. I felt kind of rushed. So I'll probably go back to 9:30. So I'll go ahead and schedule that one, and then I'll schedule the following one for the 25th at 9:30 as well. So they'll be on the channel, just to have those on the calendar if that's something you want to join. But yeah, thank you so much for writing with me. And leave a comment if you're on the replay crew of how your session went. What is the YouTube stuff? Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. But I will see you guys next time. And thank you so much for joining me. I had fun and happy writing. Hopefully, you make more progress this week. I'm going to keep trying to make progress over here on mine. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. That's your homework, is to read that comic. Okay, yes. All right. I will look into it. Have a good one.